Hello, fabulous people. Beate Chelette here, the growth architect. And today's topic is about how to stop overwhelm. So if you are like me or like most people, and you're here at the Entrepreneur Forum because you got all these ambitions about driving your business, driving your ideas, your goals, your money, your family, your intimacy, your relationships forward, you come to the point where you go, holy smoking mackerel. There is so much to do, so little time. And when you look at your to-do list is like a gazillion miles long, and it is overwhelming. Where do you start? What do you do? When comes what? What is going on? So in this episode, I want to outline a couple of things that are going to help you to just figure out where this overwhelm thing is coming from, what you can do to resolve that and move forward. So number one, the feeling of overwhelm is kind of a natural reaction that we have when we are embarking onto a road that we haven't been on before. Now, we talk about this in the intentional implementer, where it's about mindset, strategy, and growth a lot, that the program that you've been fed with since you were a child, since you've been around, from early childhood on, it has been embedded in your DNA, basically. So if you think about a child that is before 7 years old, that's what the psychology of brain studies are saying, is that you are being taught by your parents and by your environment what you believe in by the age of 7. And so your beliefs at 7 are most likely not your own, but they are the belief systems that other people put there. And then we spend a couple of years until we get into puberty to abide by these. And in puberty, then we're challenging those. And then God only knows what happens after that. Now, if you understand that you are up against what other people put into your brain or into your belief system, and that at every way or every step of the way that you go, that's your mom, your dad, your environment, the pastor, the church, the Catholic school, the, whatever is showing up and reiterating to you that these things that people have believed for whatever thousands of years are actually your truth now. Now you know what you're really up against, because it's not just what your parents put in, it's also what their parents put into your parents and what the parents before that put into their parents. And then automatically keeps going on and going on, which is why people in a particular kind of group keep doing the same thing. And you just sometimes go and it's like, that's just ridiculous. Ever so often, somebody's going to break out of a particular pattern, out of a particular group, because they stretch their mind. So if you are in this overwhelmed feeling, that means that you are now acquiring new information, and you're here. And now you realize that this tried and proven, tested path that you don't know much about, or most of you don't know much about, is now kicking in, and you are being bombarded with all this information. Now you go to more places to find more information, and now it gets even more overwhelming because other people are now telling you got to do the traffic conversion, you got to do the search engine optimization, you got to do the strategy, you have to do the copywriting course, you have to do the online thing, the landing pages, the Canva, the graphics, the follow-up sequence, the campaign mastering, the CRM, the HubSpot, the Salesforce, the sales mastery, the closing technique. And you're standing here and you go, what the bleep? Overwhelming. So let's take it and scale it down. Most of the time in a business, or where most of us are, we are trying to negotiate what these pieces are that are relevant for us. So in order for you to know what you're going to eat, you're going to look at the menu, and then you're going to say, I'm not having pasta today. I had that yesterday. So pasta is out. Now you look at the fish and you go, yeah, I don't want to really eat too much fish. So the fish is out. Now you got the meats left and the vegetarian dishes left. So you're going to make a choice as you go down by excluding what's not relevant to you or what you don't want. It's exactly like that in business. Is you need to know what the menu items are so that you then can go in and you say, I am not going and deploying a Twitter strategy, but I will deploy a YouTube strategy. I will engage in an Instagram strategy or not, depending on where your clients are. So the overwhelm stops when you use your logical mind and say, which of this is relevant to me now? And then I come in. Because I, as a strategist, map out with you what the steps are that you need to follow, which I've outlined in the 5-star success blueprint, step by step by step by step by step. So you know where all these pieces that you have that are floating around that are just crazy making are being plugged in the different categories. So you know what step needs to be completed, what step you missed, and what step comes next. So put it in the comments if this makes sense, because I really want to hear from you, making sure that you understand that. Overwhelmed business owners are overwhelmed because they have so many things that are floating around that are not prioritized and not put in order. Because once we put them in a strategy and we organize them and we set them up step by step by step by step by step, then you know what the action is that needs to follow that to resolve that piece. So if you have a YouTube strategy that you decide, you're either going to do that yourself or you're going to hire somebody to do that for you. If you do an Instagram strategy, you're either going to hire somebody to do that for you or you're going to learn how to do it yourself. If you are doing a follow-up sequence, a sales sequence, you're either going to learn how to write or you're going to hire a writer. You're either going to set up the sequence yourself or you're going to hire somebody who sets it up for yourself. And you see how all of a sudden, instead of this overwhelmed, I got to do, then it becomes action items that simply need to be executed. That's how you stop overwhelmed. Stop overwhelm by making sure that you are very clear about what it is that you need to do, and you figure out what you need to do by having a strategy. And I'm going to help you figure out that strategy in the Courageous Growth Workshop. Thank you so much for watching. This is Beate Chelette, and goodbye.